Plaintiff Sherry England says her mother worked with the defendant, and Sherry agreed to sell the defendant a computer because Sherry needed money to pay medical bills for her recently adopted daughter. After the defendant failed to pay for the computer, Sherry discovered the defendant's son was in a violent gang, so Sherry's forced to collect her debt in court. Defendant Mary Miller denies that her son is in a violent gang and insists he's simply a huge fan of the music group Insane Clown Posse. Mary admits that she bought a computer from Sherry, but insists the computer was broken and Sherry agreed to take it back, but never did.
Prove your case.
Well, first of all, and to be honest, Your Honor, I am scared and was scared so much to sue this defendant.
To call the police?
No.
Next time you're scared, call the police.
The reason why I did not call the police was I did not realize what I was getting into until I did some research online. I am afraid because her son is involved in a violent gang called the Juggalos. And
that's a lie. It's not a gang.
I'm sorry, but I have some Facebook photo of him in the clown makeup. And I'm doing research about that. I found also that Tequila was attacked at one of her concerts by that.
Okay, was attacked by her son?
No, by the Juggalos. And therefore, I did not want to go around them or have anything to do with them. So
go around them to do what?
To serve the papers. So I did have a sheriff do that.
All right.
However, I wanted to let you know what kind of people I'm dealing with and why I was afraid.
She's in the group too with her?
Pardon me?
She's in the group?
No, it's just that this is her son, and I did not know.
You're dealing with him?
No, sir.
Well, you're the one, you keep saying you want me to know what type of people you're dealing with. You told me about this gang. You told me how this gang attacks people. You said her son was in the gang. You said you're scared of her. And then you said you want me to know what type of people you're dealing with. What type of people is she?
At first, I thought she was a nice individual and honest.
And what did you come to find?
After this with the computer issue, I was not so convinced of that.
Your only concern with her is the computer issue.
Yes, sir.
Well, what does her son have to do with this? Oh, because you were scared her son would get you about the computer transaction?
There was a threat made to me
about
that I would have my life made hell with my families in mind.
By her son?
I wasn't sure. So that's when I decided to do some investigation on my own.
Honor. There was no threat ever made.
If you weren't sure, how did her son come into play at all?
All I did was look to see what could she mean. It didn't.
What did she mean?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
I was told that she said if I pursued the lawsuit,
she
would make my life hell.
She said it to whom?
A coworker. And my mom could best answer that too.
She said it to you as well?
That's why I got the information I did.
Okay, come on up.
Your Honor.
State your name.
My name is Sharon Roman.
All right. You know of her to be a gangbanger also?
No.
What do you know?
What happened is Mary and I was working together. And I was the one that instigated the idea of getting her the computer and vice versa. Anyway, making a long story short, it was a friend of mine, a mutual coworker of Mary's and mine, told me that Mary quoted to her that she was going to make my life and Sherry's life hell. And then it was when we found out that her son was affiliated with the Gigolo, which I've never even heard of him before. Okay, the two are living on the same property together. So obviously he knew and knows about the computer and whatnot. So Sherry, that's where she was coming from, is that she's a little worried and concerned.
Did you call the police?
No, sir. No.
She informed me.
You weren't afraid?
Because Sherry was dealing directly with Mary over the computer issue. I didn't think I had anything.
Were you afraid for your daughter?
A little. Yeah, I was.
Next time some known violent group of people say that they're going to do something to you and you believe it, call the police. All right?
She warned me, and I did not know what kind of threat exactly was meant. So, because I am...
Anytime a gang, street gang, violent gang threatens you, you should know that that threat is violence. Ma'am?
Your Honor,
are you a part of this gang?
No, sir, I am not, and it is not a gang.
What is it?
It is a group of fans of a music band who some of the fans get overzealous and they have been known to hurt people.
Like
And
Tila Tequila.
What group?
Of the Insane Clown
Clown
Posse.
Posse, exactly.
And my son is a huge fan of the Insane Clown Posse. He is not a gang member. He has never hurt anybody. When there was a thing about the gangs in our paper and the trouble they were causing, he actually called and wrote a letter to the editor stating that there were members of the group that were not part of the gang and that all they were music fans. And it has nothing to, he's never threatened them. I never threatened them. I haven't been working at that company or talked to anybody at that company since April. So I haven't told anybody anything and never threatened anyone.
And you're not part of a gang.
No. The
I
whole
don't think
reason
she
we're
is
here today
either.
is because Sherry is a shopaholic. She can't stop spending money. Her mom came to me at work several times and told me
So to
that she
help
was
her out,
worried.
you decided to take her computer?
Her mom knew that I needed a computer, so she hooked us up together to buy the computer. Sherry and I met, and we had agreed on a price for the computer of $500. I gave her $50 down, and I was to give her $50 a month on the 21st of each month. I was to give it to her mom so that she could save it for Sherry so Sherry wouldn't spend it because Sherry's a shopaholic. So I had the computer for a couple of weeks before I could get the internet hooked up at my house. Then I found that the computer didn't work properly. It was very slow. I called Sherry and I told her the computer wasn't working properly. She told me to get a
Hold on,
memory
what
card.
was wrong with it?
It didn't run properly. It was supposed to be like
Tell
a
me what?
brand-
How? What did it do wrong?
It ran very slowly. I couldn't get
All
anything
right, what
to
year
work.
was it purchased?
She said it was that they'd only had it for about 3 months, so I'm assuming in late 2009.
Okay, so go ahead.
And then when I hook it up to the internet, it wouldn't do anything. I couldn't open emails. It wouldn't do anything online. I had my son come and look at it because he's taken a few computer classes, and we hooked up more memory to it, and we ran a virus check on it. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. I told Sherry that I wanted to give her the computer back, and she said, just hook up more memory to it.
Okay.
So then I went to her mom because her mom was the one that I was supposed to be dealing with this. I told her, I'm going to give the computer back because it's not working right. Sharon at that time told me, if you'll bring the computer in to work and have our computer people at work look at it, I'll pay for half of it if you'll pay for half of it. It was supposed to be half of getting the computer fixed.
Repaired.
Yes.
First time I'm hearing
Did
it.
someone look at it?
No, because I didn't feel like I should have to pay anything additional to get a
Do
new
you have any
computer fixed.
evidence that something was wrong with it?
No.
Okay, so I have to take your word?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
My daughter is adopted from China, and when she was brought here, they found that she had a lot of medical conditions. I had a lot of medical bills from her that I have to afford to pay, and my husband and I are recently separated. There's no shopping
All right.
like this.
All right.
So I decided I have to sell off many things to pay for her medical bills. My mom told me that there was a lady at work looking for a laptop, and I said, I have to sell mine. And we came to an agreement in February,
How long had you had it?
3-4 months.
All right. Go ahead.
And she said, I would like to buy this computer. She contacted me for it. So I said, that's great. You write up the contract. You tell me what you can pay. You tell me how much and when, and I will help you. If you are helping me, thank you. The agreement was $500 for this computer. And she wrote the contract,
Let me see it, please.
signed it, and put $50 down, which was supposed to have been $100 down. I haven't received a penny to this day.
Now tell me about the discussions back and forth regarding the computer. Did she call you at some point and say the computer isn't operating properly?
No, I thought she was making payments, bringing them to my mom's work.
Did you ever hear that the computer was not functioning?
She said it was slow. However, the day that
How long after getting it did she call you and tell you
month and a
that?
half, 2 months later.
Okay. And what did you say? You told her to add some more memory or something?
I added a USB to my Acer computer, so I said that in an email. You might want to add some more memory to it. I don't know what all she's done. I thought she was making payments. It had not been done. It was to my
You say it
surprise.
was 2 weeks later?
Yes.
You say it was approximately a month and a
And
half.
I was supposed to be
Yes.
dealing with her mother, and I had told her mother a couple of times that I was going to
well,
have to
you and
bring
your
it
mother
back.
have to get into a contract then. You all have to sue each other. Today is her. I don't need to hear anything about what agreements that you and her mother had. Now, what did you want to show me or
She
tell me?
agreed to take the computer back because it wasn't working.
You have it in writing
I
then?
did
No,
not
I
agree.
well, I do have it here in an email from her mother that says that I was supposed to bring it over and leave it at their house.
Right. Like, I'm going to let you leave it on the
see.
front porch.
That was your mother's idea, not mine. I was supposed
Somebody
to leave it with
could
her
take it
husband
and
if he
then-
wasn't
yeah.
there.
Ma'am, did you and your mother discuss doing this?
Not until she told me she was going to have her do that.
So the answer is yes?
I said it would okay one time if she wanted to bring it back.
Okay, that's all you had to say this one time.
She had one opportunity, yes.
And she did bring it back?
No,
Okay, but yet you told her she could?
I did one time.
Because
Come on up,
when
ma'am.
I
You wanted to stand
Your
up
Honor,
and say something.
Yeah, I have to say that before Mary actually got in contact with Sherry, I had made arrangements. Mary was at work. We had talked about it. She said it wasn't working. And I said, Sherry's going to be disappointed. So I said, let's do this. I said, why don't you bring the computer in and have somebody here at work take a
Hey,
look
I
at it.
thought I heard that. Was there anything wrong with it? Watch this.
We went for an hour and we looked at it together before
Okay,
she bought
wrong
it.
answer. You went for an hour and did what? You went for an hour and
I
did what?
showed her how well it worked. For 1 hour, I sat her down we stood there and went through the whole computer
Okay,
together.
so did you agree to take it back?
One time, and she never did. Now I need the money. She
Okay.
went to Disneyland. She can afford to pay the computer. I feel
has
like
nothing to do with a computer
she
that doesn't
just-
work going
she
to Disneyland.
just rented my
Bring her
computer.
computer back. You still have it?
No, I do not want it back. She needs
Ma'am,
to
do
pay
you
me.
still have it?
Yes.
I'm going to make you agree to that arrangement that you made, that you would take the computer back. You said it one time. All you have to do is say it one time for you to have a contract. That's the contract. Bring her computer back, and your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
I don't really think I have to be afraid today.
I think it's funny that I'm considered a gang member. I don't have any criminal history. I've never been in any trouble in my life, and they have never met me ever. And I think it's funny that just off looking at my Facebook page, they classified me as a gang member.
Well, what else are we supposed to think? You know?
Because I paint my face? Do you call clowns
Whatever.
gang members?
I don't know.
Oh, don't go to Circus. You
I
might
don't
get
know.
robbed.
I just know that, you just can't do business with friends and family.
I'm glad I'm not having to pay for a computer that didn't work.